Plastic kit modelling can be an expensive hobby, and modellers who are on a tight budget will be looking for the best deals they can. A lot of companies do offer really good kits, but they do come at a premium price. However, Revell are one of the manufacturers that offer good quality kits for a price that can very rarely be beaten. Hello, welcome back to the Adrian Project. I'm Adrian with a face for radio, and on today's episode I'm going to be doing a plain talking review of Revell's 1 to 144 scale H.M.C.S. Snowberry. So, cue the music. Right, before we start, just to let you know, as always, there will be a photo montage at the end of the review, so you can have a closer, better look at the parts if you wish to. Okay, so let's have a look at the box. First off, the box art. What an awesome picture that is. That is fantastic depiction of the HMCS Snowberry. If that doesn't make you want to buy this kit and make it, I don't know what will. Okay, so it's a Revell level 5 kit. That is going along with how many parts there are. That's what their criteria usually goes with by the difficulty scale. With this set having 501 parts, they have deemed it as a level 5, and I think I'd have to agree with that. It's I think it is a ship that you really need to have a lot of builds on your belt before you make this. As you can see, it's 101 to 144 scale, and it is nearly 44 centimeters long. The kit number for this is 05132. On the edge, you just get the normal depiction of what you get on the front of the box, and on the back we've got photos of the made up kit and relevant information in different languages, and we've also got some paint call outs there as well. So let's get the box open and let's see what's in it. It's end opening box. I say I don't mind, a lot of modelers hate. There we go. So what do we have inside? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags with grey plastic. Surprisingly, we have some clear plastic, bobbin of cotton. That'll be for your antenna lines, I should imagine. Oops. We've got the decals that try just to make a run for it, and we have got the now usual instruction manual. So as always, I'm going to go away, debag everything, so it makes it a lot easier and smoother, and then we can have a look first at the instructions and the decals. So starting off with the small decal sheet, as you'd expect with it being a ship, there's not going to be a lot of decals on it. Very nice set. We've got the registration number there of K166, which was for the Snowberry. Almost looks like it says KISS on it. Nothing to do with the heavy metal band at all, so don't get too excited there. We've got the markers that go onto the bow of the ship for sea level markers. We have flag there. We have a white name decal there. I don't know where you'd put that. I don't know if there's a stand that comes with this, but shall I say, there's a couple of decals, and very nice they are too. Okay, so on we come to the instruction manual. So this is now your regular Revell instruction manual, full colour, a lot better than black and white, and it's made for a lot happier modelers. So as you can see on the front, there's a picture of the built-up model. It does looks as this come with a stand, so that's what the name decal is for. You can see it says level 5, and then it's got all the usual multi-language bits and bobs on the front. Page 1 is your usual safety issues. Page 2 is tell you what all the icons are. Page 3 we go on to paint callouts. Here again we've got 1, 2, 3 where you're having to mix, and like I've said before, I don't like mixing. I'd sooner get it straight out the pot. Then you know when you put in different coats on or painting it in different areas, it's going to be at least this, the same shade all the time. Okay, over here we have got sprue map. There's part there blacked out, which means you won't be using that part. All very nice. That's the safety instructions that nobody ever reads. Continuing with the sprue map there, got the clear one there, and it's showing you here that you have 2 of those sprues and 2 of those sprues, which is going to make reviewing a lot quicker. Okay, so starting off with some bulkhead inside the hull here, putting the 2 hull halves together. And then part 3, we'll put in the decks on top, which will all be painted. I'll build these up myself, paint them, paint the decks, then put the decks on, and then that's all set to one side and forgotten about. Part 4, we're building the stand, which I'd make at the same time as doing that, so you've got something to put your model kit on. Part 5 is fitting the propeller. It's showing you how to put the stand on. For some reason, I think there's some kind of waterline shenanigans going on the hull there. Not naval man, so don't shoot me. Then we're fitting some more of the decking. Here we've got a row of depth charges, and I think we've got something else to do with the depth charges there as well. I think it's some kind of rack. Over the page, this is fitting the depth charges onto the back of the hull, on the deck, sorry. There's some more spare depth charges that will go in at the side. And you've got some more bits and bobs that are all going on to the top deck here. You've got an anchor, ladder, some more bits here. Here you've got more depth charges, because this was a frigate that it was sort of the bodyguard for all the ships in convoy, so it's going to be absolutely laden with depth charges to stop the German U-boats from doing their business. So that's loads of depth charges on there. Got some more little greeblies there. Then we're fitting up the anti-aircraft guns here. Smaller, I think that's anti-aircraft gun there as well. I think that is a funnel. Carrying on, lots and lots of detail we're putting on to the top decks here. This is putting your main gun turrets down there. We've got some more, I think they're air funnels, aren't they? And we've got some storage boxes there going on. Fitting some of the rails on here, some ladders. 29, 30, 31 is we're making up the main funnel. I think that's the funnel, the cover for the topper, is it? Or it could be No, that's a dinghy, sorry, that's a dinghy. Okay, so that's parts 31, 32, that's 33 is fitting it onto the deck. Part 34, we've got a warning here for some kind of stand for the distance. That's showing you how to position the raft on the stand, so just make sure you check on that before you glue it on. Going over the page, this is fitting the hooks for the lifeboats, flowing the lifeboats. That's another dinghy there. It's telling you to just watch the distance out it goes on there. This is fitting your main funnel. This is going on to your superstructure now, onto the top deck. This is fitting some railings and some steps. There's a ladder going up the side of your main funnel there. 41 and 42. It's doing some more air funnels, I think they are. Don't know what 43 is. It's might be some kind of storage box. Gluing it together and painting it before you glue it on. There's fitting these subsections down. So on part 44 you're putting subsections 41, 42 and 43 onto your deck. Same again for 45. On number 46 we are fitting some more railings. 47 we've got some more storage boxes and the like on the top, I think. 48 is even more railings. 49 we've got some kind of winches there. 50 got some more winches, more railings, more storage boxes. Part 51 we are building up it looks like a lifeboat, and then part 52 is putting the lifeboat and all its moorings onto the deck. Part 53 is putting together some more smaller parts of the superstructure. And on 54 and 55, part 56 is more superstructure. I think that's the main deck, isn't it? That's where the commander and everything will be. Some more superstructure there, part 57 and 58. So there's a lot going on onto the deck here, a lot. So you're going to have to make sure you check through these instructions before you start building, just to give you an idea of what's happening. There's a lot more detailing going on the decks here. So like I say, I'm not a naval man, I don't know about ships, I don't know what half of this stuff's called. I'll just be gluing it on and painting it. So you'll know what it is. If you're into naval wartime ships or whatever, so you'll know better than me. Right, so 68 is fitting some of the clear parts, which I'd wait till the very end if possible, after you've painted everything and weathered it, because you don't want to be getting paint and weathering all over your clear glass. That's fitting some more parts around on top of your superstructure. You've got some anti-aircraft guns there again. These are more depth charges, I think. So like I say, it's a very busy kit this, lots to go on. These fitting your guns there on 74, 75 is putting even more small parts on. 76 I think is your watchtower, if that's what you call it. Fitting even more bits onto the deck here. You've got a ladder in your subsection from 76 there. You've got to make sure you put your ladder in first before you glue it onto there. 79 is fitting even more bits onto the deck. And part 80, that is some kind of aerial, I think. 81, this is to do with the main gun, I think. H2, that's your main gun on the front. Fitting it onto its moorings there, then fitting it onto the deck. So there's going to be a lot of subsections here that you have to paint first before you put it on to the actual model. Putting it onto the model itself is going to be the last thing you do, I think, with the looks of this. More little greeblies on 85, 86 and 87. Even more there. 9 to 91 is some kind of winch again. And still we go on at 92. That's a winch on the back. More railings. Aerial on there. I'm not sure what that is, but no, it says part 451, whether there's several of those parts and you put them on separately there. There's your aerials, your main mast, aerial mast there, some more aerial there, and then we get there to fit in some of your black cotton around there. So obviously all around your main gun was roped off, so that's going to be representing the rope. Then we've got the aerials for the radio system and radar system, I should imagine. Whether you use this or if you want to go down the the elastic route that we use for aerials on airplanes, totally up to you. And then section 102, it's showing you all the colours that you should be using on the side, and decal call outs, because there's going to be a few decals on there, but a lot of this painting on here I should imagine you will have done as you're going through the build, because it's going to make it so much easier than building it as one big model and then trying to paint around everything and just making more work for you. So there you go. That's the instruction book, bit lengthy, 102 parts in it, sections in it, including the painting guide. So like I say, this is a kit that should be avoided by beginners because you will struggle with this kit. And just looking at the instructions itself, this is going to be a good 2-3 months work if you take your time and do it properly. Okay, so there we go, instructions and decals. So it's now time to look at the parts. Right, so here we are. We'll kick off by looking at the clear parts, which is a bit of a surprise for a ship. You don't usually get clear parts in it, but you do on this build, and as clear parts go, they're clear. Nothing to write home about there, nothing to worry about. There are some small round ones here. I don't know what parts they'll be for, so they could be either use those or just use some Humbrol clear or whatever you may use instead of using them. Totally up to you. But I say, windows for the size of the ship and for what they are, they're clear and they're going to do the job. No problems there. Okay, let's have a look at the two hull halves. So there we go. Some lovely detail on them. See if I can get this in the light properly so you can see some nice panel work on there. So the final ship build is going to be around 44 centimeters, so that's what, getting on for about 14-15 inches in old money. So it's going to be a fair size model, fair size kit. I'll say some nice detailing on it. Panels there will take a wash, lovely. The portholes are already drilled out for you, so you don't have to worry about drilling those out. It's all very fine and lovely and good so far. So let's have a look. This section is here. So on here we've got the stand. We've got the, I think that's the bulkhead that you put into the two hull halves. That's to give it some strength. I've got some superstructure here, some nice little bits of detailing on them, and a couple of ladders. There's some writing on the back of here which says Revell 2016, so this kit is now 4 years old. This sprue seems to be warped. Now that could be from the factory, or it could be how it's been stored. I don't know. If it gets a bit warm, then it's just going to happen, isn't it? So the sprue is the same. It's warped a bit, but I don't think it's warped past. It's just the sprue. Here we go. We've got some fine detail in there. One of the top decks, the ladders. The ladders there probably are a bit heavy for 1 to 144 scale, but I think you can get away with it. But say you get the Photo Etch versions and they're going to be a lot finer than that. So it's all lovely and good on those. Onto this sprue. Okay, so on this sprue here we've got the top deck. Got some lovely planking detail on that. Got some really fine work here on the railings. Again, I can't see any problem with them, but you may think they are a bit heavy for the scale and you'd want to go down the PE way of doing it. Here we go, we've got that winch that I mentioned in the instructions there. Some really fine parts there that you're going to have to be really careful when you're removing from the sprue, because they look like they're just waiting to snap. There's a lot of nice detailing on them. It's fantastic there. Some little step ladders there as well. You've got hatches there. So yeah, it's looking okay. So going on to this sprue. I've got some more top deck, and as you can see, it has got a bend in that, but I think that's supposed to be there because of how it is on the sprue. So no panic there. It will go with the contours of the ship. There we go. That's some lovely details on there. It's got a lot more railings on there. I think these bits here, when you actually put them on, will have to be cut out. I think because they're just strengthening the part on the sprue. So care is going to have to be taken when removing those. Note to self. So I'll probably go in there like a bull in a china shop. It's nice detailing on the gun there. It's a two-part gun. So there might be a little seam line that will need some work. I think that's the funnel there. So all nice and good. Let's move those to one side. Let's get this sprue. You see the mounting for the main gun there. Got some more on the top deck. Again, it's not flat level because that is going with the contour of the ship, so don't panic. Don't think that your parts are warped. That's how the ship is. Got some nice little bit of detailing on those parts there. I'd say a lot more railings on this. There's a lot of little fiddly bits that you're going to have to put on. So I think tweezers, and make sure the carpet monster's been fed already, or so you will be after these little bits. So I say some nice detailing on that part there. And superstructure. Again, we've got some more of the railings. I think they look fine enough for me, those. But like I say, the photo etch railings that you can get for this, they're going to be a lot finer because that's what you can do with metal. You can do it a lot finer using metal than you can injection plastic. And on the last sprue, this is the sprue that you get two of. So there's another one I've left in the bag. Forgot to mention, as always as well, check your bag when you're taking things out. So as we can see, some nice parts on there, some really small details here. I think they're for the winches for the lifeboats there, so they're really fine and fiddly. Lots of really small details. We've got depth charges there. That is the lifeboat, just there. It's like a life raft. Loads and loads of little greeblies on there. More depth charges. There's the lifeboat, the rowboat that you have to make up. Just a nice little model in itself. As like I say, there are lots and lots of really fine pieces that you're going to have to take a lot of care of when removing from the sprue, or you are going to snap them and then you're going to have to scratch build a new one or send off for a new part. So just a little bit of forward thinking before you go in with the snippers. Not seeing any flash on this kit at all. All the sprue gates seem to be pretty small. They are not thick at all, so you're not going to have major issue with the sprue gates. But like I say, do take care because some of these parts here are really fine. Make sure as well that you're working on a surface where small parts are going to land. You're going to be able to see it, because you lose that. Excuse me, a bit too high up. This part there, that goes onto the carpet, and I'm afraid the carpet monsters are going to be chomping away on that merrily. So there we go. So that's all the parts. Sorry, I couldn't be more specific in naming parts because, like I say, I'm not a naval man, I'm a leg man. Thank you. And I'd just be guessing, to be honest with you, but these parts, fantastically well moulded, plenty of detailing on them, and there we go. The kit that you're going to get, I think you're going to have an exceptional model if you take your time building and painting. So with all that in mind, sorry about talking drivel, it is really hot today for some reason and my brain's a little bit addled, so there we go. Okay, so as normal, so you can have a bit of a better closer look at the parts, here's a lovely photo montage. So, Revell's 1:144 scale H.M.C.S. Snowberry. This retails around £30. I think they have done a version with a lighting kit in it that is going up towards the £100 mark, but if you just want the normal kit version, you can shop around and get it for about £30, which I think is awesome value. I have seen other modelers on YouTube build this straight out the box and build it using aftermarket parts, and both ways of doing it, you're going to get an absolutely stunning model if you put the time into it. As I say, the parts are great, some fantastic detailing on them. As always with any model kit, you take it as far as you want to take it. I say, if you're going to build this straight out the box like I might do, you're still going to get fantastic model, but it could be well worth looking into some aftermarket parts like photo etch railings. They may be a little bit more realistic, and the aerial antennas and the like. But like I say, that's totally up to the individual builder. So with all that in mind, I'm going to give Revell's 1 to 144 scale HMCS Snowberry kit a full 5 evil Ednas. So there you go. Great to hear from you as always in the comment section below. If you've built the ship yourself, how did you find the build? Are there any tricky bits that really need attention? Did you use extra parts, PE parts? Did you scratch build? It'd be great to hear from you. Also, don't forget before I go, there's still time to make your vote for which kit I build in a future video. I'm going to put the link for the previous video so you can vote on, I think it's either the Spitfire, the Messerschmitt 109, the Cromwell tank, or the Panzer. I'll put it up there. So you've still got time to have your say in which build we make. And that's the end of yet another episode. I hope you all enjoyed that one. If you did, and you haven't done so already, could you please remember to subscribe to my channel. At the moment, I'm aiming to get 1,000 subscribers. And as soon as I hit that 1,000th subscriber mark, I will donate at least £20 to Macmillan nurses here in the UK. For those of you living outside of the UK and you don't know who the Macmillan nurses are, they are there to help everyone with cancer live life as fully as they can, providing physical, financial and emotional support. I myself have had their services firsthand, and I can tell you they are exceptional. A lot of the time they do have to rely on public donations, so if you'd like to find out more about Macmillan nurses, or in fact give a little donation yourself, then please visit www.macmillan.org.uk. Okay, I'd like to thank you all again for watching. It's very much appreciated. Don't forget, you can still follow me on Facebook and on Twitter if that's going to be easy for you. And here's to seeing you all again on the next episode of the Adrian Bout Project.